Okay, imagine you're lost, deep in some vast dark forest at night. There's this primal instinct screaming, call for help, announce yourself.
Right, get rescued.
But then there's this older, maybe deeper feeling, hide. Stay silent, because you just don't know what's out there in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine that forest is the entire universe. And every civilization, well, including us, is like that lone traveler lost in this huge cosmic night.
That's a powerful analogy.
It really sets up the central question for this deep dive. If the universe is so mind-bogglingly vast, why does it seem so, well, terrifyingly silent, so empty?
Yeah.
To try and figure this out, we're going to look at what we're calling the cosmic triangle. It's basically three huge ideas that, when you put them together, they could really change how we see everything.
Okay.
So first, there's the Fermi Paradox, a really unsettling question. Billions of planets, so where's everybody?
The big one.
Then the Kardashev Scale. This helps us think about, well, how powerful could other civilizations out there actually be? Are we talking ants or predators?
Power levels, yeah.
And finally, the dark forest theory, which Ludwigson made famous. It asks, why might everyone just choose to hide?
A chilling possibility.
Okay, let's dive in and unpack this.
What's really fascinating here, I think, is how these three pieces just fit together. They intertwine to paint this picture of the cosmos that's, well, way more complex and maybe far more dangerous than we usually imagine.
It's not just random theories, then.
No, not at all. It's like a single narrative, really challenging our basic assumptions about space, about our place in it. So yeah, prepare to enter that forest we talked about.
Okay.
But, fair warning, once you kind of grasp its rules, you might never look up at the starry sky quite the same way again.
All right, let's start with that fundamental contradiction, the one that just makes you scratch your head. Where is everybody? I mean, our own galaxy, the Milky Way, hundreds of billions of stars, 200, 400 billion. And scientists keep confirming planets are everywhere. Trillions of them in the galaxy? Maybe.
It's astronomical, the numbers.
Exactly. So logically, you'd expect the night sky to be, buzzing, full of signals, evidence of tech, maybe even structures. We should be seeing something.
That's the expectation, absolutely.
But we don't. And this is what apparently stumped Enrico Fermi, the physicist, right? During just a casual lunch back in 1950, he just asks, but where is everybody? So what exactly is this Fermi paradox? Why is it so unsettling?
Well, the Fermi paradox really at its heart is this stark, unavoidable clash. On one hand, you've got the incredibly high probability, based on numbers, that cosmic neighbors exist.
Right.
And on the other hand, just nothing. Zero evidence. A total blank slate.
Okay.
To really feel its weight, think about it like this. Imagine you're going to, say, the World Cup final, right? In this absolutely colossal stadium. You expect this deafening roar, the cheers, the energy.
Yeah, total chaos.
But you walk in, absolute silence. Pin drop silence. The lights are on, the seats are all there.
Yeah.
But not a single person. Your first thought isn't going to be, oh, the stadium's empty.
No, you'd think something's wrong. Seriously wrong.
Exactly. You get this chill. Right. And your question becomes, what kind of catastrophe happened here to make it this silent?
Wow.
That stadium, well, that's our galaxy. And that deep sepulchral silence, that's what our radio telescopes pick up every single night. And modern science, with amazing tools like the James Webb Telescope, it just keeps confirming the seats are there, rocky planets, habitable zones. They're common. Cosmic real estate is abundant.
So it's not about lack of places to live.
Not at all. The real mystery is this inexplicable absence of neighbors. So the key thing here isn't just, oh, we haven't found aliens yet. It's that their very absence to silence itself feels like a profound, almost terrifying signal, like a silent scream where you expected a roar.
That empty stadium thing, yeah, that's chilling. But hey, what about other ideas? Like you hear about the rare earth hypothesis or the great filter. Couldn't those be simpler explanations? Less sinister.
Oh, absolutely. And those are really important alternative views. The rare earth idea basically suggests that the specific conditions here on Earth, our moon, plate tectonics, Jupiter acting as a shield, all of it might be incredibly, incredibly unique.
Making complex life super rare.
Exactly. Or the great filter theory. That posits there's some huge, almost impossible hurdle in the evolution of life, or maybe a catastrophic event that nearly all potential civilizations hit and fail to overcome.
Could be behind us, meaning we're lucky.
Or, more worryingly, it could still be ahead of us, meaning civilizations tend to wipe themselves out before they get truly advanced. Spacefaring,
Right.
And these are definitely possibilities. But the dark forest idea, which we're getting to, adds this layer of well, active intent to the silence,
Yeah.
especially when you factor in the huge power differences we're about to discuss with the Kardashev scale. It suggests maybe the silence isn't just bad luck or cosmic roadblocks, but a deliberate choice.
A choice to be silent. Okay. So that's the first vertex of our cosmic triangle, the Fermi Paradox, this huge, puzzling silence. Now, to understand who might be making that choice, who's in this silent cosmic forest, and just how powerful they might be, we need our second vertex, the Kardashev Scale.
Precisely. If silence is a choice, the next question is, who are the choosers? Back in 1964, the Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev had this idea. Let's classify civilizations not by, their biology or politics, things we can't guess, but by something universal.
Which is?
Energy. How much energy they can harness and control.
Yeah.
It basically sets up this ladder of cosmic power, showing the potential hierarchy out there.
Okay, so how does it work? What are the levels?
Well, Kardashev originally proposed 3 types. A type I civilization, he called it a planetary civilization. It's basically mastered all the energy available on its home world.
Like controlling the weather,
Yeah.
using geothermal energy.
Exactly. Think diverting hurricanes, tapping the planet's core, building vast solar grids covering huge areas. They've essentially domesticated their entire planet. They're the apex predator of their world. Got it. Type 1, planet masters. What's next? Type 2, a stellar civilization. Now we're talking serious power. This kind of civilization harnesses the total energy output of its host star.
The whole star. How?
The classic idea is something like a Dyson sphere, a megastructure that completely encloses the star, capturing almost all its energy. What they could do with that power? Well, Arthur C. Clarke's law applies. It would seem like magic to us.
Indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's mind-blowing. And type 3.
Type 3, a galactic civilization.
This is, well, almost inconceivable. They control energy on the scale of their entire galaxy.
The whole galaxy. Billions of stars.
Billions of stars, yeah. Manipulating supermassive black holes, traveling easily between systems, maybe even galaxies. They wouldn't just live in the forest. For all practical purposes, they are the forest. Gods, essentially. Wow, okay, so type I planet, type 2 star, type 3 galaxy. Gods. So, where are we? Where does humanity fit on this ladder?
Well, that's the humbling part. The truth is, we're not even on the scale yet.
Not even type I.
No, the physicist Michio Kaku estimated us, based on our energy consumption, still mostly fossil fuels, right? As maybe a type of 0.7 civilization.
Oh, 0.7.
Yeah. We've barely got our foot on the first rung of this ladder that just disappears up into the cosmic clouds.
That really, really puts things in perspective. We're like cosmic toddlers, maybe, still figuring things out.
That's a good way to put it.
But wait, if we're just type 0.7, these babies making all this noise with our radio, TV, radar,
Yeah.
shouldn't we be detectable, at least locally?
Well, almost certainly within a certain radius, our signals are expanding outward.
Well, wait, the giant's silent. Why aren't we hearing the type Ds, the type 3s, even the type Is? What could possibly scare a civilization that can, build a sphere around a star or control weather across a whole planet?
That's the critical question, isn't it? And it points towards a really terrifying but maybe simple answer.
Which is?
Maybe the existence of an even greater hunter. Or perhaps just the cold certainty that in this forest, every hunter is also potentially prey. That silence we talked about with Fermi, it suddenly takes on this new, much more sinister dimension when you consider these power levels.
Okay, that's dark. And that sinister dimension leads us straight to the third vertex of our triangle, the dark forest theory. Popularized by Lou Schickson in his sci-fi novels. But the core idea, it presents this really chilling logic for the silence, basically. Why the one who speaks first dies first.
It's fiction, yes. But its internal logic is so compelling, so stark, that a lot of people, including scientists, see it as maybe one of the most plausible and frankly most terrifying potential solutions to the Fermi Paradox.
So what's the logic? How does it work?
It's built on a few fundamental assumptions, called them axioms of fear, that seem pretty hard to argue with on a cosmic scale. First, survival is the only goal.
Okay, makes sense. Every living thing wants to keep living.
Right. It's the primary, non-negotiable drive for any civilization. Everything else is secondary. Second, mutual distrust is inevitable.
Why inevitable?
Think about the distances, light years. Even communicating with our nearest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri, is an 8-year round trip for a message across the galaxy. Thousands, millions of years.
So no real-time conversation, no way to build trust quickly.
Exactly. You simply cannot verify intentions in any meaningful time frame. Every other civilization out there is essentially an unpredictable black box. Hello could be genuine or it could be a probe to assess your threat level. You just can't know. You can't trust them.
Okay, survival first, deep distrust. What's the third axiom?
This one's maybe the most unsettling. The latent threat of technology. Think about how fast our own technology is changing.
Yeah, exponentially, almost.
Right. Now project that forward. A civilization that seems primitive today, maybe just discovering radio, could have a breakthrough in physics tomorrow. They could leapfrog centuries of development in a cosmic blink, potentially becoming an existential threat very, very quickly.
So you can't judge a book by its cover. Even a quiet neighbor could suddenly become dangerous.
Precisely. Therefore, every other civilization, no matter how harmless it seems right now, is a potential future threat.
Okay, I admit, that logic it's cold. Brutal even. But isn't there a risk here of just assuming the worst? Like projecting our own fears onto the cosmos? Couldn't some advanced civilizations evolve beyond that kind of paranoia? Maybe value cooperation?
That's a really important point, and a hopeful one, obviously. It's the big what if. However, the dark forest theory argues it only takes one civilization operating under this paranoid logic to make this strategy necessary for everyone else.
The one bad apple spoils the bunch, cosmically speaking.
Sort of, yeah. Or maybe it's just game theory. If the penalty for trusting incorrectly is annihilation, but the penalty for being overly cautious is just continued silence, the rational choice, purely from a survival standpoint, becomes clear.
Don't take the risk.
Don't take the risk. So you put those three axioms together. Survival is paramount, you can't trust anyone, and everyone's a potential future threat.
What's the only logical strategy?
Hide. Stick with it.
Exactly. The only winning move is not to play the game of contact. Remain invisible. Silence everything. Shut off the lights. But then, the theory adds a second, even more brutal step.
Oh, what's that?
If, despite your silence, you happen to detect another campfire burning in the forest.
You detect someone else.
Yes, the paranoid logic dictates.
Yeah.
Eliminate it immediately, before it has a chance to see you.
Whoa. That's not just hiding, that's preemptive attack. It sounds horrifying, like pure evil. But the theory argues it's not about malice. It's cold, calculated risk assessment. If you see them, they might eventually see you. You don't know their intentions. They might be applying the exact same logic. So the safest move, again, purely for survival, strike first.
It's like a cosmic scale prisoner's dilemma, but with extinction as the penalty?
Precisely. Contact in the dark forest isn't a potential greeting. It's potentially a death sentence for one of you, maybe both. Think of it like a vast, anonymous social network.
Okay.
Turning on your camera and microphone and shouting, "Hello, I'm here,"
Yeah.
doesn't actually guarantee you'll find a friend. The only thing it guarantees is that everyone else on the network, the friendly, the curious, and the predatory, instantly knows where you are, who you are, and potentially how vulnerable you are.
So you might find a friend. Or you might just give your address to every killer online.
That's the dark forest gamble. And the theory suggests that intelligent life, having survived long enough to become advanced, understands this gamble. So it provides the rules of the game. Terrifying rules, maybe, but rules for a game we are already playing, whether we realize it or not.
Wow. Okay. This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? We've sort of walked through this dark cosmic forest. We've looked at the potential power scales of who might live there with the Kardashev Scale.
Right.
And now we've learned these brutal potential rules of survival from the dark forest theory. So let's put it all together. Let's assemble this cosmic triangle puzzle. You said each vertex supports the others.
Exactly. It's when you see them locked together that the full picture snaps into focus, becomes incredibly clear, almost self-evident.
Okay, lay it out for us. How do they connect?
All right. Vertex 1, the Fermi Paradox. That's our starting point, right? The fundamental observation, the question itself. This profound observed silence in a universe that really should be buzzing with signals.
The empty stadium. The crime scene with no bodies. It demands an explanation.
Precisely. It's the mystery we need to solve. Then, Vertex 2, the Kardashev Scale. This populates the stage. It tells us who might be out there. It answers Fermi's everybody by saying, well, hold on, everybody isn't created equal.
It introduces the power hierarchy. Ants like us, wolves, dragons, maybe even gods?
Exactly. It establishes that power in the universe is likely spread across a vast, almost unimaginable spectrum. It's fundamentally unequal. This isn't a meeting of peers.
Got it. Paradox is the question. Kardashev defines the actors and their power. What about the third vertex?
Vertex 3, the dark forest theory. This is the final piece. It provides the strategy, gives those vastly different actors, defined by Kardashev, a compelling logical reason for the silence observed by Fermi.
Ah, okay. It connects the power levels to the silence.
Yes. It answers Fermi's question using the context provided by Kardashev. Why is everyone quiet? Because in an environment of total distrust, axiom 2, where technology is a latent threat, axiom 3, and survival is everything, axiom 1, and crucially, where there are vast, potentially infinite power gaps between players, Kardashev Scale, making noise is simply suicide.
So silence isn't absence, it's a survival strategy.
It's the strategy. The weaker hide from the stronger, sure. But perhaps everyone hides from everyone else too, because you never know who might have a technological leap tomorrow or who might misinterpret your signal. Any contact carries unacceptable risk.
So when the three vertices connect, what's the final image?
The final image is, well, it's breathtaking in a chilling way. We're not looking out at a vast empty void. We might be looking at something more like a galactic battlefield. Moments before the first shot is fired, everyone's ducked down, holding their breath, waiting.
Or like that cosmic game of hide and seek you mentioned.
Exactly. A deadly serious game where the absolute first rule, the only rule that guarantees survival, is don't make a sound. Don't reveal your position.
So the conclusion of this whole cosmic triangle idea?
It's elegant in a dark way and profoundly chilling. The silence we pick up with our telescopes. It stops being a sign of absence, a sign that we're alone. Instead, it becomes a sign of universal intelligence.
Wait, how intelligence?
Because it implies that any civilization advanced enough to be easily detectable across interstellar space is also smart enough to understand the dark forest logic. They're smart enough to know that survival depends on not being noticed.
So the silence is the proof they exist because they're smart enough to hide.
That's the chilling revelation. The universe isn't empty. It's holding its breath.
Okay, if that's true, if this cosmic triangle model holds water, then humanity has a really, really serious problem, doesn't it?
A very serious one.
Because in the middle of this potentially universal strategic silence, there's this one glaring anomaly. That anomaly. Well, it's us. We are the exception. We're breaking the cardinal rule. We are the noisy child in the forest.
That's one way to put it.
For over a century now, right? Our radio signals, TV broadcasts, radar, they've been expanding outwards at the speed of light, creating this bubble of noise around us, what, over 200 light years across now?
Roughly, yeah. It's constantly expanding.
We've basically been shouting into the dark, not because we were brave or trying to provoke anything, but just because we didn't know the rules. We didn't even know there might be rules like this.
And that ignorance, that sort of naive broadcasting, has put us right at one of the most critical crossroads in our entire history as a species. It really boils down to the debate between two acronyms, SETI versus METI.
SETI and METI. Okay, break those down.
SETI is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This is mostly the passive strategy, the cautious approach.
Listen.
Exactly. In our forest analogy, SETI is like sitting quietly by your tiny campfire, cupping your ears, listening intently for any sound from the darkness. A snapped twig, a whisper, anything. We point our telescopes, we listen, we hope to hear proof we're not alone.
It seems pretty low risk. We learn about the forest without yelling, hey, we're over here.
Relatively low risk, yes. We gather information without revealing our own position too, obviously. Then there's METI.
Messaging to extraterrestrial intelligence.
Right. This is the active strategy. It's incredibly bold. And, well, to many people who consider the dark forest theory, it's terrifyingly reckless.
This isn't listening, this is shouting.
This is standing up in the middle of that dark forest, turning on a spotlight, and yelling our location, our biology, our history, everything into the unknown. METI proponents argue that just passively waiting might take forever. Maybe no one else is shouting either. If we want contact, they say, we have to initiate. We have to send powerful, deliberate messages designed to be found and understood.
And the thing is, we haven't just stuck to SETI, have we? We've actually done some METI, we've done some shouting. I'm thinking about the Voyager probes.
Exactly. The Voyager 1 and 2 probes, launched in the 70s, now heading into interstellar space. They carry the golden records.
With sounds, music, greetings.
And, crucially, a pulsar map. A map designed to be deciphered by an advanced intelligence that literally pinpoints the exact location of our sun, our home star within the galaxy.
Wow, so we literally sent out directions.
We did. Which brings us to the absolute core of our current dilemma, the most uncomfortable question we face if the dark forest has any truth to it. Are those Voyager probes and other METI efforts a friendly calling card extended in hope? Or are they a map leading potential predators straight to a feast?
A map to us.
Our choice, whether we fully realize the implications or not, has kind of already been made, hasn't it? We have shouted into the silence. We've tossed messages and bottles into the cosmic ocean. The only question left now is whether anything hurt us, and if we'll ever have to face the consequences of being found.
We've covered a lot of ground here journeying through this potentially dark cosmic forest. We started with Fermi's simple, almost naive question, where is everybody? And now, weaving together the Fermi Paradox itself, the vast power scales shown by Kardashev, and the chilling strategic logic of the dark forest theory. Our cosmic triangle offers up a possible answer. It's coherent, but deeply unsettling.
It definitely reframes things.
Yeah, the cosmos stops seeming like this vast, empty, maybe lonely desert and transforms into potentially a very crowded place. Just crowded with intelligent life that learned, maybe the hard way, that being seen, being visible, is a fatal risk.
That's the core of it. Silence stops being this mystery of absence, this lack of evidence. Instead, it can be interpreted as proof of widespread intelligence, proof of a universal survival instinct playing out on a galactic scale.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the questions we started with feel heavier now, much heavier.
They certainly do.
Are we truly alone? Or is it possible we're actually surrounded by neighbors who've simply mastered the art of being invisible, knowing the best neighbor is the one nobody even knows exists?
And maybe the most critical question, looking forward for humanity. If this dark forest theory holds even a shred of truth, is our ongoing search for contact, our messages, our signals, is it an act of incredible sublime hope, a reaching out for connection?
Right.
Or is it potentially an extinction sentence, one we've written and signed with our own hand, sending it out into the void?
The answer? Well, I guess for now it just floats out there in that deep, unsettling silence we started with.
Judge for yourselves. Think about it next time you look up at the stars.
Because perhaps that silence, the silence of the universe, maybe that's the most terrifying answer of all.